Well, welcome everyone to our Create Your Own Freedom WA event. And today is the 31st of October. Can you believe that? It's going to be November tomorrow, 2017. So if you're watching this for the first time, someone that you know has invited you to take a look at what we're doing. They might be thinking that this would resonate with you or someone that you know. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch. My husband and I have been involved now in the Juice Plus business for 18 months. And in that time, the product and the business have changed our lives. We all know the world is changing faster than ever. Things that used to take decades are now only taking a short while. And you only have to go to the airport or Coles to see that the workplace is transforming faster than we ever thought it would be. People's jobs are being replaced by machines, and there's a lot of unrest in the workplace. And even if you're an amazing employee, your employer may not be able to keep you on, depending on how their business is going. So, and we're really feeling it, I think, even more so over here in WA with the downturn in mining. It's really having a huge impact in all areas. People are finding they have less time and less freedom. We're meeting people who are working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. So for me, 18 months ago, I was introduced to this business by my friend Belinda. I saw a post that she'd put on Facebook, and it was all about feeling healthier. And at the time, I was traveling around Australia with my two small children and my husband in a caravan. And I was feeling like an absolute zombie mum. I was being woken up a couple of times every night. I was eating chocolate in the morning and drinking coffee all day long just to keep going. I was feeling really down. I didn't want to say I was depressed, but I definitely was having some dark days and feeling like I really wasn't coping health-wise with what was on my plate. So when I saw her post and heard about the amazing products, I jumped on board straight away. And I noticed a huge difference in my body just in the first couple of days. My energy level increased. I felt less psycho, which was good. And that foggy mummy brain lifted, and I just felt like I could think straight. So one of the reasons why we were traveling around Australia was to spend time with our kids. So for me, going off to work didn't line up with that. So I was excited about this business from that perspective as well, that I could spend time with my kids when they were sleeping. I could work on my business when they're on the playground. I could, be chatting to people and growing my business. So it ticked all of the boxes for me. And 18 months later, we have settled down now in beautiful WA. And this business has really allowed us the financial flexibility to make a move from Queensland to WA. And also my husband, who's a builder, is really sick of building. So it's giving him the ability to look at a different career as well. So it really is giving us more choices, which is awesome. And I'm excited about the future as well, saying yes to more, and also introducing this to other people so that they can have the opportunity as well. And I'm happy for our family too, that now that we're so far away from all our families on the East Coast, we can plan more holidays home to see them and spend more time together. So, and I am looking forward to seeing my husband in a career that he enjoys as well. So tonight we're going to share some amazing stories of how the product has transformed our lives, but also how the business opportunity is really changing our families and the choices that our families have. So please stick around to hear those stories. I'm going to introduce now Carlina, who's a beautiful mum with 4 kids. She's going to share with us a bit about our amazing products. So thanks, Carlina.
Thanks so much, Beck. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us. So I get to speak to you about our amazing products. Juice Plus came into my life about a year ago now, And at the time, I had a lot of stress in my life, and I was neglecting not only mine, but also my family's health. And I was making really poor food choices, and we certainly weren't getting the recommended 9 to 13 serves of fruits and veggies into our diet every day. I was really run down and tired, and I was relying on Red Bull and chocolate to get me through the day because I was literally falling asleep at the wheel at school pickup, and with my kids in the car, that was absolutely terrifying. My stress and anxiety got that bad that I was grinding my teeth that badly in my sleep that I actually snapped off my front tooth. That was not a good time in my life. So when I came across the product, it just made complete sense to me that by flooding my body with more fruits and vegetables and all the nutrients, that it was only going to help. And this was a super convenient and affordable way to do that. And within a week of me being on the products, each one of my kids came up to me and they said, "Wow, Mum, you are like a totally different person. You're not complaining about being sick and tired all the time, and you're not yelling at us." And that was a huge turning point in my life because I realized I'd been making their lives miserable. So from the first day, I just felt amazing. And I'm happy to say that I haven't had nor needed a Red Bull since the day that I started. And I no longer get stressed like I used to, which is just great. So these are our products. We have the fruits, vegetables, and berries. And they help bridge the gap between what we do eat and what we should be eating. The products are actually grown on proprietary farms, and we have records of these farms going back 3 generations to show that the produce is all GMO free, and the produce is all grown using organic principles. And so they're actually picked from the vine at their peak ripeness when they're most nutrient dense. And then they're taken to our processing plant where it's not cold stored like supermarket produce, which is usually picked months in advance, and there's not a lot of nutrients in them. So ours are taken straight from the vine to the processing plant where they go into giant blenders. It's all blended up, pulp, skin and all, and then it's dehydrated at a really low temperature where all the sugar and water is removed. And it's then turned into a powder. These powders are then encapsulated into little capsules to preserve all the enzymes and to keep them intact, and also to avoid oxidization. So if you were to break open a capsule, it would actually turn brown because there's living enzymes in there. So the produce is tested to 1 millionth herbicide, pesticide free, and it's considered yeast free, mold free, bacteria free, and it's actually cleaner than organic eating because I don't know if my farmers down at my local farmers market are testing their end result. Kale, Juice Plus actually knew that kale was cool 25 years ago, and they're actually the largest growers of kale in the world. The science behind Juice Plus is actually amazing, with around 38 peer-reviewed gold standard medical studies, and these are all published in medical journals. We're talking pharmaceutical grade research, so it's completely backed by science. I don't actually have time to go into all the research right now, but the 2 standouts for me are that it's proven to increase your immune system and decrease inflammation. So all disease is a form of inflammation. So by eating more fruits and vegetables, you're decreasing your chances of getting inflammation. The other standout for me is that Juice Plus is safe. So if you can eat fruits and vegetables, you can take Juice Plus. It's even safe if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, and for kids of all ages. And there's not a lot of things out there nowadays that, kids and pregnant and breastfeeding women can take. So that just blew me away. Now, the product is actually bioavailable. So because it's whole food, our body recognises it and it's absorbed into our bloodstream within 5 minutes, and none of it's wasted. That's probably the biggest difference between Juice Plus and a vitamin. So a vitamin is they're fractured nutrients, and they're usually synthetically derived, and our bodies can't actually absorb anything synthetic. So that's why we get that bright yellow disco coloured whey, because some of it will simply pass out of the body. We also have a children's chewable version. These are great. So these are completely natural with no nasties or fillers, and if you're taking the product, you can actually sponsor a child to get theirs for free. They become part of a worldwide health study, which has over 1 million children taking part so far. So they're actually like little lollies, they're little gummies, but they're made with fruit pectins to give it that gummy consistency. And we actually add a natural sweetener because, as you can imagine, once you take all the sugar out of kale and broccoli, they don't taste too great. So they're actually sweetened with a tapioca syrup. There's only around 1 gram of sugar per child serve. So when you put it into comparison with a banana has around 17 grams of sugar in it. So there's really not that much in there. My kids absolutely love these, and as a result, they're craving more fruits and vegetables, and they're sleeping better and pooping better. And for 2 of my kids who had eczema so badly as kids that they were as babies, that they were in wet wraps, that they were eczema free just 4 weeks after taking our products. And that is just absolutely amazing. They were left with white patches on their skin from using steroid creams. So now we no longer have to deal with that, which is great. The other product that we have is our complete powders. So this is a vegan powder, and there is a list of ingredients in here like broccoli, sprouts, spirulina, chickpeas, mushroom powder, ancient grains, and the list goes on. These are our macronutrients. So the capsules are our micronutrients, and these are our macronutrients. And they're put into convenient sachets to help preserve the enzymes. And they're also approved by the Therapeutic Goods Association. So my kids and I have one of those each day for breakfast because we leave the house quite early. So I just blend it up with some fruit on the way to school. And it's a good feeling to know that they're heading off to school with healthy, happy tummies. And they actually just think they're getting a chocolate or vanilla shake, which is really cool. So when you combine the powders with the capsules, you're getting around 70 plant-based ingredients into your diet every day. And without these products, that would be really difficult. The other thing that we have is when you are on the products, you get to become a member, a lifetime member for free of our Juicy Body Transformation Program. This is an amazing whole foods program with hundreds of whole food recipes that has been designed by Kira Westwick. Kira was a top 10 contestant on MasterChef in 2014. So the recipes she has created are absolutely amazing, and they're all family friendly, which is great. We have meal plans, pantry lists. It's an online program. We have a shred component for those that want to lose weight. And we also add in things from time to time like gratitude practice, and the community that we have around this is just absolutely amazing. So the best thing about this is that there's no calorie counting and no deprivation. It's just all about eating real food and creating healthy habits in the home, which is something that I'm actually really passionate about. So that's all from me. I'm going to hand over now to the lovely Zoe, and she's going to share a bit of her story with us. Thanks, Zoe.
Thanks, Carlina. I figured out my mute button this week. So I have been on the products for, I think, close to 5 weeks now. Me, my husband, and my 2 sons all joined up at once. I wrote a little list in the beginning of hopes that the benefits I would see personally within myself. And I've just been looking at my list now, and I've noticed about 6 out of 7, sorry. So that's pretty good going. First one would be my energy levels that I noticed within 2 days, and I was just like, this can't be right. It's crazy. Like, are you sure? So I went on the support pages and sure enough, it was because of that. So that's fantastic, because I'm pregnant and have the 2 very energetic boys. So that's not something that subsided. It's been great. I noticed that my nails were actually growing. I caught up with friends the other day and we were talking about nails, and I was like, looked at mine, they've actually grown. Like, that's great. Like, it just happened. Normally they're quite brittle and snap, so that was good. I've had lots of compliments on my hair lately, how it's not looking so dry and frigid and ratty. It's quite nice and full of life and looking shiny, so that's good. I noticed lately that my psoriasis has completely disappeared off my body. It hasn't gone completely from my scalp and my ears, which is my biggest issue, but I was very realistic that that's going to take a bit longer. I already feel like I've seen that it's calming down already, which is good, but I'm still realistic to the fact that that might take a couple of months yet, so that's okay. My patient level has gotten a lot better, which is great for my boys, because mummy's not always yelling all the time and she can cope a lot easier, which is great. My husband also has noticed some changes, but he is unavailable tonight. But he said that in the next few weeks when he's home, he is more than happy to come on and share if that's okay with everyone for his personal benefit. Both my boys are eating really well. The youngest especially, he was the most fussy, so he was the biggest deal for getting on Juice Plus and just seeing what it could do for him. So he's down to eating like lettuce and beetroot and pickles and things like that now, which is completely crazy, but it shocks me every time he eats it, and it's so exciting. We make such a big deal out of it. And they're also sleeping magically at night time, which is fantastic. They sleep really deeply now, and they're getting about somewhere between 10 and 12 hours a night, which is great. And last but not least is my eldest son's eczema behind his ears has completely cleared up, so that's really great as well. So lots of benefits so far. 5 short weeks, that's all it's taken, so much more to come, I can imagine, from carrying on with it, which is great. And I can't see us stopping anytime soon, so it's good. I am now going to pass you on to Celeste to share her story. Thanks, Celeste.
Thanks, Zoe. Sorry, guys, it looks like I'm sitting in the dark. We need a new light globe here. So I've been on the products for 3 months now. In the beginning, the same as what Beck and Zoe have said, and Carlina, I noticed the energy levels increased straight away. I'm sleeping a lot better. My digestive system was pretty poor for years. I can't remember it being this good pretty much since, I couldn't tell you. I've constantly had problems with constipation and things like that. So my skin has cleared up. Not that I've ever had bad skin, but people keep asking me lately if I've had my teeth whitened. I think it's just because of the complexion. I've noticed just recently in the last few weeks, I've always had chronic back pain and neck pain and sore muscles and constantly having to go for remedial massage and stuff like that, and I haven't really noticed any pain in my body, so that's sort of just been in the last couple of weeks. The biggest thing for me, again, is the patience in the afternoon. Like Zoe said, I noticed I was getting tired and didn't have the patience come witching hour with my little girl. But I certainly don't have any problems getting through the afternoon now. I don't need to have a nap, and I don't need a coffee in the afternoon. I don't have those sugar cravings anymore, which is great. But my partner's been taking the capsules for the same amount of time, and it's completely changed his life. He's gone from having 8 to 10 beers a night to maybe 2. He's eating fruit after dinner. He was also looking at having surgery on his neck at the beginning of the year, and he was the sort of person that was on painkillers every day, and I haven't seen him pop Nurofen and Panadol sort of in the last month, so he didn't actually notice that, and I pointed that out to him the other day, and he's just, he's now sort of spreading the word about the product. So that's been great for us. And I'm just excited about sharing the product with more people and changing people's lives to hopefully live a healthier lifestyle. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Celeste. Well, thank you, Carlina and Zoe and Celeste. Those stories are amazing. So exciting to see what this product is doing for you all. I'm going to introduce Yvette now to come on and just share a bit about her product story. Thanks, Yvette.
Hey, thanks, Beck. Yeah, I love hearing everyone's story so far about how everyone's going on the product. It's really awesome. I started taking Juice Plus about 10 months ago now, at the beginning of the year, and I discovered it probably at a time where I was suffering from postnatal depression, and I kind of actually didn't realise that that's what it was, or I just discovered it and started back on the medication as well for that. So medication wasn't an avenue I wanted to go back down, but that was all I knew at the time. Fast forward to about 3 months into taking the product, and I'd actually stopped taking my antidepressant medication. And that was a discussion that I'd had and with my doctor, and he was more than happy for me to come off that medication, which was awesome. The other thing for me as well, a little bit like Zoe, I suffered bad psoriasis for quite a lot of my life, and I know that when I get really stressed or anxious or I eat poorly, it flares up really badly. And I was quite stressed out with a job at the time, and obviously the postnatal depression had, I was quite lazy with what I was eating and exercising and everything as well. And my psoriasis had got so bad in my scalp that at night I would sit there and I would scratch it to the point that it would bleed. And a lot of the time I didn't even realise I was doing it until my husband would point it out to me. Probably within, again, about 3 to 4 months of taking the product, that psoriasis had cleared up completely, and I haven't seen it come back yet at all, which is amazing because I've tried every steroid cream and everything that dermatologists and doctors have given to me, and nothing had really helped or actually cleared it up. It had probably helped, but not cleared it. So that was really awesome for me. As far as the family goes, I've noticed a big change in my kids. They still get sick from time to time, but the way that they bounce back now is, we don't get sick, and it doesn't take us down for days on end. The kids do get sick. It's a 24-hour thing, and that's about it. The symptoms are quite minor in comparison to what they could have been. Definitely, I found sleeping with the 2 kids. They both sleeping a lot more soundly, and the variety of fruits and vegetables that we're eating in the house as well has really increased, and that's been huge for my eldest, who is an extremely fussy eater. We've seen him not complain as much about what we're putting in him, and he's actually trying a lot more as well, which is awesome. So thank you, Beck. I'll hand it back to you.
Thanks so much, Yvette. It's awesome hearing what it's doing for our kids as well. I know people at birthday parties have been amazed that my kids actually start eating a patty cake or a lolly plate, and they actually give it back to me because they're like, oh, they have a little bit of it, but they don't have that insatiable urge for sugar anymore, which is awesome. We're going to change gears a little bit now. I know when I looked at this business, I had some questions, and there's 2 main questions that come up around working online. And so we're going to just take a really quick look at both of those. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Yvette, just to talk a little bit about the skepticisms that come up. Thanks.
Thanks, Beck. So as I was saying to you guys before, I was definitely really impressed with the products that I was taking. And at the time as well, I was gone back to work off maternity leave, but I knew it was something that I didn't want to have to do long term. It was something I didn't want to do originally, but unfortunately, as most of us know, financial reasons, we have to go to work. So when I saw that there was a business opportunity involved with Juice Plus, I was really intrigued because I saw it as giving me options to be able to create a lifestyle that we wanted to live, or be able to be at home for my family a lot more and a bit more attentive to my family as well. The biggest question I know that I had when I started this business, and I know a lot of people have, is this a pyramid scheme? And I'm sure that most of us have come across asking that question before. Pyramid schemes were actually made in the 70s, and when we look at a company like Juice Plus that's been around for over 25 years now, or a company for over 45 years, and the product for 25, it's pretty, we can say very safely that it's not a pyramid scheme. If you have a look at most pyramid models, so I worked for a supermarket, an independently owned supermarket, which I sold my traditional business to, which was a gourmet deli. And when I sold that to them, I was integrated into that supermarket system. And that had a pyramid looking model. So at the bottom here, I'm going to start from the bottom, there was all of the workers down here. So that was all your checkout chicks and trolley boys and staff, all of the other staff members. Across here, we had 2 ICs. So these were people that were second in charge to the department or were there to supervise where they needed to. Above that, we had department managers, which is what I fell into. I was a department manager, and I oversaw that business that I sold to the supermarket when they integrated it. After department managers, we had a store manager, and there was only 1 per supermarket. In the group, there was 10 supermarkets, so there was only ever 10 positions available. And most of these store managers had been around for 15 to 20 years in this independent supermarket. And the new managers, as they were growing, they weren't promoting department managers, they were actually bringing in ex-Coles or Woolworths managers. After store managers, there was operations managers. So they oversaw, say, 3 or 4 or a territory. And again, these guys had all been around for 15 to 20 years, or were coming in from external sources as well. We had the general manager, there was 1, and he, again, had been in the industry and within the company for about 30 years. And then we had the owner, or what would normally be a CEO, and, well, you know, being the owner of an independent supermarket, he wasn't going anywhere unless he sold. So you can see that for me to stay in that model, there wasn't really a lot of opportunity for growth. After 5 years to 6 years, I was stuck as a department manager. I did a lot of extra work. I learnt all the functions, and I learnt how to run a store. I learnt how to do what a store manager does, and after 6 years, I still only came out with a $1,000 bonus and no room for growth. And I was told at the time too that my lifestyle choices would make it hard for me to move up. And when they were talking lifestyle choices, they were talking family. I wouldn't be able to commit what maybe someone without children would be able to commit to. So that was really disappointing for me, and I know that's something that's really disappointing for others as well. So what I loved when I discovered Juice Plus was the business model that Juice Plus provides. Now, with this company, everybody starts at the same level. So there's no, you know, you don't come into the company and if you've got previous experience in finance or previous experience in sales, it doesn't matter. You're going to be the same as everybody else. So the business model is more like this, more the rectangle. So everybody starts as a virtual franchisee when you enter the business. From there, as you move up to our pinnacle position of NMD, okay, you can't do that without helping other people. You can't do that without helping other people grow within your team and spreading the word of the product as well. So again, for me, that was huge because it meant that I had an opportunity to grow and get to the top, and I could help a lot of people around me, and leadership was one thing that I loved too. So I knew that it was definitely a business that I could grow with, which was pretty awesome. The sense of community and everything which Juice Plus provides as well is fantastic, and that does come from that business model. And when we say sense of community, if we have a look at everyone on this call tonight, none of us really knew each other when we started within this business. We've all developed the relationships as we've gone through the business, and a lot of us now, I think, talk on a weekly, if not sometimes a daily basis, and we've all forged great friendships. If we use Beck, who's our host tonight, as a bit of an example, when Beck was travelling around Australia, she saw a post on Facebook from her friend Belinda, and Belinda introduced the business to Beck. Beck saw this as a great opportunity, so she introduced the business to her sister Rachel. Rachel introduced the business down here, and while this is going on down the line, Belinda was introducing the business to other people, so to Rhiannon and to Renelle. Renelle introduced to her sister Sally, I introduced the business to Casey. Rach is introducing the business again and product. Beck's introducing. Casey's introducing. So as you can see, as the business grows, it grows organically. And this was huge for me as well, because I know that one question that I asked was, am I going to have to hunt down my family and friends? And I was really happy when I was told, no, that you don't need to do this, and this is how our business develops. Because the one thing that I didn't want to have to do was to go to my family and friends and go, hey, you know, come join my business every time I met up with them for dinner or coffee or anything like that. Because we all know that's going to get pretty old pretty quick, and most of our friends and our family are going to run a mile in that case. So yeah, I was really happy to discover I didn't have to go around and do that. Basically what I was doing was I was sharing my love for the product, and I was sharing that through social media or just by word of mouth. And a lot of the team and customers come on board because they just genuinely love what they see and the results that they get from the product. This is what we call the popcorn effect. So as our business grows, it's like popcorn. When you take it, put it on the stove, and those kernels start popping, and they create the momentum. When you take it off the stove, that momentum continues as well. So that's a brief overview of how business works. Now I'm going to hand you back to Beck, and Beck's actually going to explain to us how we get paid. Thanks, Beck.
Thanks so much, Yvette. That's great. Well, I get to talk to you about how we get paid, which is really exciting because, you know, money is important. And the way we get paid in our business, it's a direct reflection on how many people we've actually helped, which is really different to traditional business as well. So there's 3 different ways. The first way is retail. So you can see here, retail, and that's basically the money that we make on our customer sales. So we basically connect our customers with head office, and head office ship the product out to them. We don't have to hold stock or purchase stock. We don't have to run parties. And there's no large startup fee, which is really awesome. It's just doable for everyone. Whether you want to earn a little or a lot, the startup fee's great. There's also no monthly minimum, so there's no pressure to do a certain amount per month. And as Yvette said, we're in the business of recommending Juice Plus. So as you enjoy the product and people noticing the changes in you, it's just basically telling them what you're doing. And if they're interested, you connect them with head office as your customer. So the other exciting thing is that Juice Plus is now in 27 different countries. So you've got the potential to grow a business in 27 different countries, which is hard to do in traditional business. So the second way is I've put a percentage sign there. That's basically the commission. So as your business grows, you develop a residual income or a passive income. And as your customer base grows and your team grows, that percentage becomes more and more. We call it the beach money. And I remember traveling around Australia last year. I was out of range for a month, and I still got a paycheck for that month based on my residual income from my team and my current customers, even though I hadn't even placed an order that month. So that's really exciting as well. And the third one is bonuses. And I don't know, my background is high school teaching. I have never received a bonus. If I was lucky, I might have got a box of chocolates from my favourite student. But the bonuses are an awesome way that our company just encourages us, especially in the beginning. They put some targets out there, and if we reach those targets, then we receive extra money, basically. And we like to say to everyone that money needs to be spent on yourself. If you've earned a bonus, then you need to spend that on spoiling yourself, which is exciting. And the other cool thing is that if your team that you've helped gets the bonus, you also get the bonus as their teacher, which is really exciting, and that just concretes that community of helping and encouraging each other. So we're cheering each other on and we're helping each other out, as Yvette said, and just that develops an amazing community of support and encouragement, which I've never experienced before in any other workplace. So I'm going to pass you over now to Michaela. She's going to share with us about how the business came into her life and, what she's excited about. So thanks, Michaela.
Thanks, Beck. Yeah, so the business came into my life about a year now. And at the time, I was 6 months pregnant with my first baby. And I was also working in the mining industry as a FIFO worker. So I was away for weeks at a time, and I knew that was a career that I couldn't sustain becoming a mum. I wanted to be home to raise my baby and not have to go back to work and be away from him. So as you know, it can be really hard switching to a different career. And then I came across this business, and it was pretty much a blessing in disguise. I never wanted to go back to mining, and this has provided me the perfect way to be able to stay home with my baby. I don't only not have to go back to mining now, but I don't have to go back to another job and still be away from him for hours at a time. I can do this from home and be able to feed him lunch and feed him afternoon tea and morning tea and everything else. So that's really why I wanted to get into this business, and I'll never look back. It's such a beautiful business to be a part of, and such an amazing community to be a part of. So yeah, I'm just loving it, and I definitely hope that anybody who watches this gets on board and comes and joins us. And so now I'm going to pass you over to Lisa so that she can share her beautiful story. Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Michaela. Hi, everyone. Just quickly, Juice Plus came into my life when I was pretty much at saturation point. Super busy, always tired, totally stressed constantly. We're a homeschooling family, so I have a big responsibility to ensure that my kids get educated, as well as playing and fun. And I work outside the home 2 days a week, and we're a bit of a renovation surviving family. It's been going on for a long time now. And whilst it's amazing, it just takes a lot out of you. I started on the products and I didn't necessarily feel any changes for about 2 weeks when I woke up after having a full night's sleep, which was, seriously gobsmacking. Chronic insomniac, and it just seemed to go week after week after week, and I'd have all these amazing sleeps, which, as you can imagine, had a huge impact on my moods, my energy, my relationship with my kids. That changed as well. So the energy increased so much that I decided to purchase a franchise and become even busier. But it's a great busy. It's an amazing busy. I get to help people. I get to contribute to my home. I get to have my identity back. I, chose to be a parent who sort of hung out with her kids and educate them at home, and that's great. But it just meant that I had lost a little bit of my identity. So this allows me to become part of an amazing community, a supportive, encouraging, fantastic community that lifts everybody up. It's brilliant. I highly, highly, highly recommend it, and I can't see me not being a part of it in the future. I'm excited for all the things that this business opportunity is going to create for me, or that I'm going to create from it. The money's amazing, opportunity for extra money, the new skills, the personal development, all sorts of things. There are so many amazing byproducts of actually becoming a franchisee. So yeah, I can definitely recommend it. And if anybody feels as though they need to have some questions answered, I would suggest that you contact the person who's invited you to watch this link. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll pass you back to Carlina now, who's going to share her story. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Lisa and Michaela. Your stories are amazing, and I can resonate with so much of them because the business came into my life about 12 months ago now, and time's just flown by. I haven't even realised that it was 12 months. I honestly thought I've only been part of this for 6 months because I've been having so much fun. But at the time, I was going through a lot of financial stress. We have a traditional business in mining, and because of the downturn in mining, things weren't going so well with work. There wasn't a lot of work. So I was looking at the prospect of having to go back to a 9-to-5 job. And being a mum of 4, and I've been a stay-at-home mum for 15 years, the thought of going back to a 9-to-5 job with a partner who worked away absolutely terrified me. And my number one role is to be a mum. I want to be there for all the drop-offs and pick-ups and everything else in between. And, you know, if my kids are sick, I don't want to have to ask someone for a day off work. I want to be there for everything. So when this business came across my path, it just made complete sense to me that I could create an income around my crazy, hectic life and yes, just still be there for my kids. So I jumped on board straight away and I haven't looked back. It has been the most amazing experience ever. And I'm so excited for the future because I know that this business is giving me the opportunity to bring my partner home for good so that he never has to work away again. And that's already, it's been possible for so many people in this business already. So I'm one step closer to achieving that goal, and I'm forever grateful that I said yes to this business. So that's all from me. I'm going to pass it back to Beck now.
Thanks so much, Carlina. Well, thank you everyone for sharing tonight. It's been awesome to hear all of your stories about how the product is making you feel so much better, and also how the business is really giving you some more choices and helping your families. What I love about this business is you don't have to be an expert. You would have heard tonight we're all from different backgrounds, and you don't actually need any particular skill set. You just have to really be someone who cares about people and likes helping people. We've got a system. We basically teach you what you need to know. So I guess a teachable heart and a caring heart is where it's at. So and we just plug you into that system, and yeah, the system does the rest. So I'm really excited about earning money from home. I'm really excited that I stumbled across this opportunity, although I don't believe that was a coincidence either. And I feel really grateful that I've found it while my kids are young, that I can be there, as Carlina said, for pick up and drop off. And if there's a school carnival or school holidays, I don't have to ask for time off, which is awesome. So I'm passionately sharing this with people and building a community of fun, like-minded people. So, and I just feel really privileged that I've come across this, and so grateful for what it's doing, not only for my health, but also for my family. Like today I rode 60 kilometres on my bike, my push bike, and like even a year ago, if you'd have said to me, you'll be riding 60 kilometres in one ride, I would have laughed you down. I've never been energetic or athletic or anything. So this has just really transformed me and created a healthy culture in me that I can share with my family. And I think that's so important, what I'm passing on to my kids about health and, being strong and healthy and eating well and looking after your body. So if you have any questions, as we've already said, just get those answered. We all had questions, and it's great to have questions. Reach out to the person that sent you this link and get those questions answered. So thanks again for everyone that's taken part in tonight's event. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.